So here is the homework. Swap with your neighbor. It was fairly easy. Uh, we're just talking about basically figuring out how many payments you would have and the interest rate you would be paying for the loan. Mia borrowed $5,000 from her grandparents to pay for college expenses. She pays them 125 each month in simple interest at annual rate of 5% on the remaining balance of the loan at the end of each year. Well, how many months will it take her to pay the loan off? 40. How do you figure that out? Yeah, if you divide the total of 5,000 by the monthly payments of 125, right? That means you have 40 months. How many years will she pay the interest? 3 years and 4 months, which is in decimal 3.3, right? That's not even full. No, you just go like this and you feel like, and it fills it. I'm never in the building. I need a water. Okay, now I have to like use different different words for what I want to say because y'all are weird. Okay, so so for this one, I show you a little method, a little formula on how to get the interest. You multiply the principal of $5,000 by the rate. Now, what is the rate? I know it's 5%, but what is it? How do you multiply? What do you multiply 5,000 by? 0.5. Thank goodness. In my second, I think, or third period, somebody goes, "You multiply by $5." I'm like, "Where did you get $5?" That's exactly what I said. Girl, bye. And she just looked at me like, and then somebody says, "Oh no, no, it's percent. It's 0.5." I'm still waiting. Like, what? Bye. So 5%. To turn it into a decimal, how many zeros do you have on the percent sign? 2. When you cross them out, you go twice, the same number, and then you get 0.05. That's how you know what percentage, what number to use. You cannot multiply by percent. Let me say that again. You cannot multiply by a number in the percent format. You have to turn it into a decimal every single time. Can somebody explain why some of these girls are wearing lipstick? But they ain't grown. I see her. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to know how to learn how to clean your rooms first, and then learn how to put makeup on. I'm pretty sure it's messy. All right. The next one. Next one. How much simple interest will she pay her grandma parents altogether? How do you figure that out? What did you do, Juvia, to figure it out? What did you get? You didn't do it. Did anybody do this one? Number 11. What do you get? So what did you do for them? You added all up. Okay, so here's what happened. You were estimating. You were supposed to multiply the principal by the rate. Remember how I showed you that on the other one? So 5,000 times 0.05, and that gives you something. 250, I think so. And then you multiply that by the number of years. 3.3. And then that gives you this answer. So she paid $825 in interest. Guys, if you do not know how to figure this out, you will not gonna get you're not gonna get the answer right. We went over this yesterday. The formula is this: PERT, PRT, principal times rate times time. That's gonna be your interest. Principal times the rate times the time times the time. In this case, it was 3.3 years, right? Huh? That was from yesterday. Were you sleepy yesterday? All right, you can step back. Oh no, you have one more, right? This one. Huh? What? All right, I don't know where it went, but let's go to this one right here. Dion, can you call your parents? Actually, I'm gonna call your dad. All right. Greta wants to buy 3 jars of honey. Food Market sells it for $8.99 with a buy 2 get 1 free. Leona sells it for $8.49 with a coupon for 50 cents off, 50% off with a limit of 2. Which store has the better deal? Which one was it? The second one. Why? For what? For the second one? It wasn't necessary though. For the first one is you buy 2, you get 1 free. So if you pay for 2 of these, that's gonna be the cost for all 3 of them, right? Which is what I did right here. On the other one, it says it's 50% off, which is 2 for 1, right? That means one of these, 2 of those will cost me $8.49. The other one, I have to pay full price because it has a limit of 2. So all I have to do is add that to the one with the full price, which is what I did right here, and I get $16.98. So that one is actually cheaper than the other one, right? Thank you. I don't know why Steven's smiling in this picture. Quit smiling. What? That's rude. All right. So that was the answer for that one. If you got them right, good job. If you didn't, let's go over it again. Let's move on to the next part of the lesson. You have a lot of homework. Wow! All this homework. Wow, my baby. All right. The next part, guys, it's actually not a very difficult homework. It's actually very, very easy. Very, very easy as long as you pay attention. It's in the book on page 411, I think. I'm sorry, 429. 429, what is that? From what? From today? That's fine, I already put it in. All right. I already did. Don't worry, I'll wait for you. I'll have some more homework for you. Budget. What do you know about budget? Yes. Raise your hand. Okay. Limit. Yes. Yes. So yes, a budget is basically you have a particular amount of money, a certain amount of money that you can spend. So if you go to the store, well, people who are good at budgeting will go to the store with only cash and take just a certain amount, and they know that's all they can spend because that's all the money they have. People like me don't do that. I just go and go crazy. But people who budget well, at the beginning of each when they get their paycheck, the first thing they do is put everything in order. What bills do you have to pay? What money you have to put aside, and then how much money do you have left for anything else? That's called budgeting. You separate your money in a way that is organized, and you know where each part of that money is going to go. That way, you don't end up, overspending or wasting that money in other ways. Yes, that's what a lot of people go in debt because um, they're not good at budgeting. So income, what is income? Yes, the money that you earn, right, by working. Planned savings is literally what he says. Savings that you plan on. So, for example, when you save for college, you save for your daughter's wedding or your son's wedding, or you're saving for retirement, or you're saving to buy something. You have savings in general when they're planned. We're talking about savings they have the same amount. You put the same amount of money every single time, so they're kind of constant. Whereas there's some expenses that you just spend randomly. So if we look at this thing, the earning for this girl, which is Jenna, she's babysitting. She gets paid $25 every weekend for babysitting. It's not a lot, but it's something. So then you have college fund, which is an expense. Whenever you take money out of your account to putting into a savings, that's considered an expense because you're taking out and putting it somewhere else. Entertainment, that's going to the movies, going to some kind of the mall, amusement park, whatever, where you spend money. Saving for a tablet. If you want a new iPad and you want to save, that's still an expense because you're taking it out of your account and putting it into a savings so you can buy the iPad later. And then snacks, y'all are good at that, spending money at the school cafeteria all the time, and the candy store. All right. So we're gonna talk about fixed and variable expenses. The word variable, what does that sound like? Options, right? It varies. It varies. Whereas fixed, it means that it's stable. It's the same thing. It does not change. So when we talk about expenses, it's things that you have to spend your money on, whether it's like rent, utilities, cable, phone bills, entertainment stuff. Whatever money comes out of your pocket, that's called an expense. An income obviously is the money that you get for babysitting, for tutoring somebody, for doing this or doing that. You're getting paid. That's called income. So in this situation, we have Garrett monthly budget. For 1 month, he will budget whatever he has. So he mows 30, not $30, 8 lawns, and he gets paid $30. So when I was a kid, I used to do that for my landlord's houses. There's a lot of houses on 12th Street, and I used to go and clean his backyard, and he would pay me $50 for the backyard. They were always really dirty, but it was better than have nothing. I was like 15, 14 years old. So it was good money because it was not hard labor. I was just cleaning. It's stuff that a kid can do. Whereas I could not get a job because that's illegal. And because you cannot get a job, you have to do these little things here and there to help out. For example, girls can build stuff or do somebody else's hair, somebody else's nails, or somebody else's eyebrows, whatever it is. Little things that do not require much, and you get paid for it. That's a good way to get income. For the boys, going to your neighbor's house and throwing, hey, mister, can I clean your yard and I'll get some kind of money? That's one way to earn money. Or if you help your older cousin or your uncles doing something at home, then that's considered earning money for you guys that is not illegal. So this guy, most lawns, clearly he's probably a young guy, and he earns 240 a month. Uh, Look at the expenses. He spends $40 on clothes. Is that variable or fixed? In other words, will that amount change, or is it the same amount every single time? Change, right? Because you can spend $30, you can spend $20, or less than that. What about a monthly guitar rental fee? Why is it? What tells me it's fixed? Monthly. It's every month you pay the same amount. What about saving for a car? You will say variable because you can add different amounts of money, but in this context, in the book, when you talk about savings, it's planned savings. So you put the same amount every single time. When you see the word saving, they're talking about the same amount. So in this situation, the car will be fixed. What about entertainment, movies and video games? Variables, right? Because you can go watch one movie or two, or you can just go straight from one movie to the other one and not get caught. Don't do that. And then what about emergency savings? Fixed again, right? Savings are generally fixed. You want to save the same amount every single time. Now let's look at Mrs. Everdene's account. She seems to have a very different approach to her stuff. Mrs. Everdeen has, what does wages mean? Money that you earn at work, right? When somebody says wages, I usually think of minimum wage. The smallest amount of dollars you can get paid for 1 hour of work. So, yes. So in this situation, when he says wages, we're talking about the total amount of money she got for that month. She gets paid $2,500, which is not bad. It's more than what I get paid now. But, and then that's going to be her available amount. That's everything. Do I need to stop? And then notice that we have taxes on it. I don't know why she would have taxes outside, but it could be property taxes, it could be something else. And taxes are generally fixed. Rent. Does rent vary? No. It's fixed, right? You pay the same amount every single month. Utilities. It varies because depending on how much you use it. Yes, it varies because sometimes you have all the lights on, or you can have them all off. You can have the AC on or off. I hope you have them on. You can take an hour in the shower like I used to, or take 15 minutes like now I do. You can take an hour doing your hair like I used to, or now 15 minutes or 20 minutes like I do now because I got to pay bills now. So or you can have all the lights on like I used to, or have the whole house dark like I do now. So yes, it varies. What about groceries and household supplies? They vary, right? You can get some amount, you can spend some money. Open it. Yeah, some. Yes. So yes, groceries can vary. You can go and buy some things this week, and then the next week you have something else. It's never the same. I have never spent the same amount of money exactly the same on food ever. It's always different. All right, and because the prices go up and down in the grocery stores, that's why they vary also. What about auto insurance? The same, right? It just comes out of your paycheck exactly the same way. Retirement savings? The same. It's savings. It comes out of your paycheck the same way too. What about clothing? Varies. So I want you to look at Mrs. Everdene's table and look at Garrett's table and tell me what is different about them, what is the same. Look at them on your book. Rafael. Yes, the savings are fixed for both of them. What else? What else do you observe? Look closely to the items in each of them. Yes. The what? No. The what? What do you mean different things? Well, then I don't have one. Go, 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 go. Ah, good observation. Garrett has all the things that he wants, whereas Miss Everdeen has all the things that she needs to pay for. Right? That's a big difference. Yes. Yes, they get paid very differently, right? Garrett gets paid 240, 240, and then she gets paid 2,500. What can you tell me about both of them? The people, yeah. Besides that, yes. Yes. It's true. By the way, that's that. No, no, this is a perfect example. Actually, hey, 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 you're laughing now, but he actually gave me one of the best definitions in the class when it comes to what a need means in economics, in social sciences. We define need as something that you need to survive. Otherwise, it's not considered a need. So, as an adult, she has she has to pay for all the things that she needs to have in order to live comfortably, right? Garrett doesn't have any of those. There's just wants, whatever it is that he wants to do, right? That is the main difference between a kid's idea of how to budget money or what money means, and an adult's idea of how to why do you need money and how to deal with it. So an adult focuses on the needs. The first thing that I do as an adult when I get my paycheck, I put away, separate all the money that I need to use to pay for all my needs, like the rent, utilities, food, all those things that I need to pay for. That's what I do first. And then I think of the other stuff that I might want, like for example, get more clothes or go out and eat. Those are things that I want. I don't need those. I want them. Whereas the kid, Garrett, he's just focusing on these little things. He has emergency savings. That's probably in case his friends come by and say like, "Hey, let's go eat." That's an emergency, so he's gonna go eat. But for everything else, it's like things that he wants to have. So it makes a huge difference between the two. I want you to understand that. I also want you to notice that both of them have a budget. Even though Garrett seems to be a lot younger, he knows how to budget stuff. He knows how to separate his income and make it in a way that you still have some money at the end of the day. So, yeah. And where? So that's what a lot of people do actually, and that is a very really really good example of why a lot of people are in debt. They don't budget. When you budget, you limit yourself to the amount of things that you can buy. For example, somebody with this budget will go, they will go to the store and be like, "Oh, that's a cute outfit," and they look at it and they go and they'll pull out their phones and go to their budget and be like, "I can't buy that this month," so they'll put it back and go away. Me, on the other hand, I look at the outfit and my phone never shows up. I look at the outfit, I like it, I look at the price, reasonable, and I go buy it. And then the next day I cry because I spent so much money. But that's me. I'm very irresponsible when it comes to budgeting. That's why I'm always broke. But most, a lot of people aren't responsible with their money, and it's good to have that kind of discipline where you know how much you can spend, and that's your limit, and you won't be in debt if you do that. When you have a credit card, you just go like, swipe here, swipe there, swipe everywhere, and the next day you're like, oh my God, how much money did I spend? Not good. Down. All right. So for the next activity, you're going to go over these and tell me if they are variable or fixed expenses. So next to them, write down variable or fixed for each one of these. All right. So snacks, are they variable or they vary, right? What about weekly flute lessons? Fixed. Savings? I got it, Dion. All right. This is another way of looking at what your parents usually think about whenever they're budgeting. Y'all usually go, Mom, I want this. Dad, I want this. Granny, I want this. But you never think of the things that they have to pay for before they give you any money. You think the money just kind of flows. Let me give you an idea of how money is generally separated. This person seems to be pretty affluent. That means that they have some kind of money. It's twice as much as what I make. So they make $4,000. Oh, it's working. Right now I do because I didn't work for those. I volunteered for three months. Yes, that's pretty good. Uh, so when you make that money, and they probably have a lot of kids too, so consider that. Uh, where does most of the money go to? Looking at the chart, housing, right? There's no child support in this. This kid does not have that kind of problem, but it goes to housing and payment. So it says house payment. That means you're probably buying the house, and the insurance. It's $1,400, right? So let's go over here and actually plug it in. Right here. So it looks like they're spending $1,400 on that. And then we have food, which is 15%, which is pretty good. Savings, 320. You might be thinking, why do you have to have savings? Well, you need it in case you get unemployed or an emergency or something like that. Entertainment, 4%. As you notice, it seems like they don't go and do much on entertaining. They probably do it all at home. They have a lot of kids. Clothing, 8%. So they probably do have a lot of kids. Medical insurance, the same way. Probably have the whole family together. Transportation, like car, bus passes, and gas, and all that stuff. And then emergency funds. Those are very important, emergency funds. So here's what you're going to do as part of your homework. So please write this down on the table as I go. How much does it make? How much is the total, the net monthly income? 4,000, right? What percentage is that of the pie? 100%, people. 100% of the income goes to whatever it's in the pie chart. Those are not expenses, so I put nothing over here. And the available amount is 4,000 before you do anything with it. What is the housing cost? Yep, 1,400. Do we know the percentage of that? No. What kind of expense is it, fixed or variable? Fixed. And when you take subtract 1,400 from 4,000, what do you get? No. 26,000. Come on, people. So here's what you do to figure out the percent. What do you do? Yes, P over W. Add another percentage over 100 equals 1,400 over the total of 4,000. To do it now, you're going to do it for homework. Let's fill it. Yes. You subtract the housing from the yeah. Yes. You're going to keep subtracting until you, at the very end, see how much money you have left. All right, food. What is it? 15 what? Percent. That means we don't know the actual price, right? So, and is it a fixed or variable? Variable. So for that one, you will still do P over W by using 15% over 100 equals X over 4,000, right? It's out of 4,000 because the whole pie is 4,000, right? So you will do that to find out what the actual price is. What about savings? What is it? 320. We don't know the percentage. That is a fixed, right? We don't know this, so figure that one out too. And then entertainment. We don't know that, but we know it's 4%. It's a variable expense, right? What about clothing? 8%. We still don't know what that is. It's variable, and we don't know what that balance would be. What about medical? 600. We don't know the percentage. Is it variable or fixed? Oh, sorry, it's fixed. Yes, it's medical. That usually comes out of your paycheck. Yeah, mine does, part of the insurance. And then there. Transportation. 400. We don't know the percentage. It's variable, right? Yes. If you go to the doctor, yes, they pay a percentage of it. But I'm saying the money that comes out of your account for the insurance is always the same. All right, emergency fund, 5%. That means I don't know this right here. It's fixed, right? I don't know that. So we're going to move on, but just so you know, that's going to be your homework. And you're going to have many opportunities today to increase your grade. So if your grade is very low, and I mean it, pay attention very quickly, guys, or not. If your grade is very low, this is your chance to increase your grade by as much as you can. Capiche? So we did all that. The next page, which is page 433, the your turn 6, 7, and 8, that's going to be the first extra credit you can do. 6, 7, and 8. The only homework you have is the first part, this one, the one that we just got initiated. And so basically the your turn on that page and also the guided practice on the back page, that's going to be also, you do not have to do this, guys. I'm talking about this right here, and the back page is for extra credit. So for those of you who have very low grades, do these and you're going to get extra credit if you complete it. Yes. It depends, guys. I'm not going to give you a set number, because if I tell you you need 10 points for each, it's not going to be enough for you. So I'm going to go depending on what grade you have in whatever you need to pass. Okay? Is that fair? Yes. But because if I tell you it's going to be 10 points, then it's not fair to say, okay, well, you can only do one assignment, and I got 10 points, you go from a 90 to 100. But those at the very bottom only go 10 points up, and that's it. Yeah, if you have a high grade, you can still do them. You still get a high grade. Let's go over this one. Sophia is creating a budget to save $250 for a week of soccer camp. No, this is not. Oh, wait, I lied. Hang on. Yeah, sorry. No, this is, yeah, it is. Never mind. It's, the bottom part is for extra credit, but not the top part. We're doing that one in class. No, not 1, 2, 3. We're doing that in class. Yes. She earns money by working as a mother's helper on Saturday mornings and Wednesday afternoons. Focus, guys. She wants to save $12.50 a week for the camp. Her mother, she earns $20 each time she works. Her mother wants her to save $5 a week for college. She's planning on spending $5 a week for snacks and $10 a week for entertainment. So let's look over here. What are the earnings for Sophia? No. That's how much she wants to save. 20? Are you sure? How many times does she work though? You gotta read the problem. She earns $20 every time she works. And she works Saturdays and Wednesdays, so how much money is it? 40. That's right. So you put it under income. $40, right? And then that means you have $40 available. Now, saving for soccer camp, how much is that? $12.50, right? So you take away $12.50 from 40, you get $27.50. What kind of expense is savings for soccer? Fixed, right? All right, savings for college, how much is it? $5. You take away $5 from that, you get $22.50, right? What kind of expense is that? Fixed. Entertainment, how much is it? $10. Take it away, you get $12.50. What kind of expense? Variable. Snacks, $5. You end up with $7.50 at the end, dedicated for nothing, whatever it is you want else. What kind of expense is that? Variable. So notice how she budgeted pretty well. She still has $7.50 left for whatever she wants for the paletero. Circle the variable expenses in Sophia's. The ice cream man. Sorry. Welcome to Oak Cliff. Circle the variable expenses in Sophia's budget. Entertainment and snacks, right? Those are the variable ones. If Sophia decides to take piano lessons at the community center for $5 a week, would that be a fixed expense or a variable expense? fixed, right? Because it's weekly. Can she afford it? Yes. How much does she have left? 250. If she added that what is it, piano? Piano, there'll be $5. That means she end up with 250 left. She will still have money for the paletero. Good. All right, so now that we did that, you only have the bottom part to finish for extra credit, right? Which is that. You're gonna have to do a lot of P over W's for that. That's on the front part. On the back side too, the bottom part. Unless you don't want it. The independent practice is also for extra credit. The more you guys, you don't have to, but the more you do, the higher your grade's gonna go. If you bring me only one of these and you know you need a lot of help, I'm not gonna give you a lot of credit for it. Yes. Huh? Tomorrow. I know it's a lot of homework, but it will be due tomorrow if you need the help. Yes. Again, guys, hey, let me clarify. You do not have, these are not required. But if you want to increase your grade, I suggest you do as much as you can and do it correctly. Because I have all the answers already and we're not gonna go over them in class. I'm gonna check them individually and make sure they're all right. So if you're gonna do them, don't just write down random things. You actually have to work it out. If you do them right, you get credit. If you do them wrong, you don't get credit. I need effort. I don't need completion on these, okay? Do we understand that? If you bring me stuff that is just written stuff, I'm not gonna take it. It has to be well done. All right. Where do you go? Okay, so for this one, which is the last part, we're gonna go over it tomorrow. But yeah, I'm gonna have to walk here in a minute. They're gonna come up on the announcements. But so far today, it was a pretty good lesson. You guys participated. That's good. It was a little more relevant to what you guys do, or your parents, not y'all.